Shalom. Oh, you can't hear? Shalom. If any brother or sister on the comment board, Baba Kashab, y'all can let us know. If y'all can hear us good enough. Baba Kashab. But hey, hey, BA, Baba Kashab, let us know if you can hear us, bro. It'll be good. Yeah, he said it sound good.
I can't hear you, Doc.
Okay, let's see. Yeah, they said loud and clear. All right, what about now? I don't know if this might be on my side, your side. They say it's good though. Yeah, it might be on your side, Zaquan. Let's see. What about now? You can hear me?
Yeah, I still ain't got it. I don't know. We do it every week.
Yeah, I ain't sure. I don't know. You want to try to get out and come back in?
Let me see.
But kind
All right.
you can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, kind call lawyer out by Shema Shai. The water out by Shema
Yeah,
Shai.
they do that every week. I don't know what's going on. After you play the intro, I lose
Okay.
sound.
So with that, Shalom. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rechak Wadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with all truth and sincerity, and as well as all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And this is the brothers from the Great Millstone Houston camp. I'm the brother Korah Abad. And we got the Elder Taza Pa as well from the Great Millstone Houston camp, a church. But again, the Wadi Yahweh Shemar Shah back with another Thursday live, which these lessons are meant to update on the news, the weekly news, which, man, we in the times to, been saying it for the, not for the past couple of weeks, but here and there, to where it might not always be a Thursday live, things go speed up so quick where it may have to be a multiple, Tuesday and Thursday live, because there's a lot of things coming out to where if we wait a day or two, we might be late on it. You see? But nevertheless, man, it's always good to talk about this news because they can go by to you out of the loop, and that could be the day to where something happened, But it's also a beauty, to see the story play out as we read in prophecies and we actually seeing these things play out in the earth, as Habakkuk 2 said at the initial speaking not lie. You see, but tonight, we kind of want to go into a few things. I'm sure brothers been hearing about it, sisters been hearing about it. Let me make the screen bigger real quick. So like it. There we go. So for the first segment of it, we'll touch on, as you see, economic repercussions. I'm gonna go into that word repercussions, but it says economic repercussions. CBDC for the second segment, CBDC launch date revealed. And we've been talking about, man, the Wadi Al-Bashim al-Shah, because it's the Lord who put on our spirit to go into these things. But for the past, 2 years, the CBDC coming. Well, now they set the date, on when they want to do it, when they want to make these things, or should I say when they want to set the mandate, where you got to get this. Every country going conform into this NWO, man, this digital system that's coming. But the point is, they set a date for when it's going to be officially here. So we'll touch on that. And also, as you see, it says infrastructure attacks. With the Baltimore boat that crashed to the bridge, broke down the bridge. But there's been a couple of talks that, look, they ain't going to be the only event that may go on. They calling it Black Swan season, not a Black Swan event, just one thing. They call it's the Black Swan season. We should have put that in the title, Black Swan season, where many things other than just a bridge crashing, 9/11 type events. That's what they're talking about, messing with the infrastructure of America. These things are coming. you know, and also they got migrant camps. We'll touch on that here and there, set up in San Antonio and New York. But again, a lot of things happening, way much more than we gonna touch on tonight. Apostles, elders hitting on it. You see, but Ezequiel, you know, the floor is yours if you got anything.
Yeah, I was holding that Habakkuk, man, right before you called it.
Con, you
So
got it.
I'll read this real quick. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And so, as the brother was speaking on, all right, as the prophets, we got to be on our watch, watching and keeping tabs on this devil, all right, putting the scopeo on him so that we can know, you know, you gotta pay attention to how this devil is moving. All right. And in order to do that, you got to have some history, some background into his MO, basically. And he uses his same MO. All right. Because I was telling brothers, you mentioned the Black Swan season. I was telling some of the heads that, you know, this is the time of the year where this is a high sacrificial time. All right. Coming up, going into April 19th, all the way up to May 1st. And, right after I said it, I'm seeing the news about the bridge collapse. And I believe they say like 7 people died or something of that effect, you know, but yeah, this is that time of the year. And plus we just had the Passover, so the Most High is getting ready to make some major moves as well, all right? So we need to be standing on our watch as men of the Lord, his servants, the prophets. The Heavenly Father said, Amos 3:6, he will do nothing, but he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. All right. I'm gonna read that real quick. This is Amos chapter 3.
Hello.
Let's start at verse 6 here. All right. Amos 3:6, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid. And we are the trumpets. Well, we are the prophets that's blowing the trumpets. All right. Now, Isaiah 58:1 says to lift up your voice like a trumpet. All right, so we're sounding the alarm, and that's all it's talking about. Sound the alarm. And this is what we're telling the world. Look, Esau is doing this, that, and the third. Pay attention because the Lord is getting ready to return. All right? So we're blowing the trumpet. And the scripture says, shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord had not done it? So whether it be a bridge collapse, buildings falling, things getting blown up or blown up, that's the Most High's doing. It's all according to his will because America must go. All right, and we watching it in real time. America is being taken out real time. That's why you see lawlessness running amok. You see things that don't make sense, just senselessness, and just a bunch of chaos everywhere. All right? But the trumpet is blown. But it says, and the people not be afraid. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Right, if they had good sense, they would be afraid. But they trust in the shadow of Egypt, which is Egypt, when, you know, I'm referring to that particular verse as talking about America, spiritually Egypt. All right? So people are trusting in the shadow of Egypt, not taking heed to the words of the prophet, and they fan the hand. We tell them what's coming. We tell them what's going on when they should be afraid, but they're not because they think that this is the greatest country on earth and can't nothing happen to them. You know, as long as they pay their taxes and vote, they're good. But the Lord is about to send a serious culture shock throughout this entire land. And it's going to get everybody's attention. And that's Jacob's trouble. But it says here in verse 7, Amos 3:7, surely the Lord power would do nothing, but he revealed his secret unto his servants, the prophets. All right. And this is what, like the Lord said, would I tell you in secret? Go publish on the rooftops. loosely paraphrasing, because we are in that season. So going back to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1, I will stand upon my watch, all right, paying attention, being alert, and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. In verse 4, behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. All right. So again, as the brother was saying, the times that we're in, things are moving fast. A lot of things are taking place. And, it could be several things in one day. Key events that you need to be paying attention to. So we're on our watch. All right, here at Great Millstone, where everybody else partying at the Passover or planning a party for the Passover, we're on our watch. Mm-hmm. All right. So go ahead, brother.
That's it. That's like even he said on this video, we might play, we might not, but he said he was talking to his audience. And he was like, yeah, I'm the only one reporting on this, us and those of our kind. And I was like, no, you ain't. Shit, we reporting on it too. The prophets reporting on all these things that's taking effect in the earth right now, man. And you know what, too, Elder Tazapar, you know what, something else, which I'm not the one that, myself noticed it, but one thing that's starting to be obvious is that you having a lot of people speak up on these things now. What I mean, a lot of people talking about the digital currency and World War III and Civil War and so on and so forth. But just a couple years ago, nobody was saying all this.
Right.
No, that's the difference. Mm-hmm. You got
it. Go ahead, bro. No, go ahead.
I was just about to say that's the difference between the prophets and everybody else. The prophets tell you these things, what's going to happen way before they happen. When life is good, we telling you bad going to come, a system going to come. Now you're seeing a lot of people coming out. Now that the system is obvious that it's not coming, it's here. Now they want to talk about it. It's clear missiles are here. Now they want to talk about these things, man. But no, they just following prophecy. And now it's to the point they just more so solidifying and clarifying what we've been saying all along, man. Just like that Habakkuk 2 at the end of the show, speak and not lie. How is it speaking? The Lord has given us tangible proof now. Right. That's how it's speaking. We ain't just talking no more. Back, say, in 2007, 2005, the apostles, it seemed as they was just talking, which they wasn't, about the MOTB because they didn't have much proof back then. But how is it speaking now? Now today, they can show articles. They can show videos. They can show how countries changing their system to digital. Now it's proof, man. And look, the Lord going to further prove his point as the days goes by. As I said, Ezekiel 12 is going to get to the point where nobody going to say what it ain't, man.
And definitely at that time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I was just saying it's a reason for that. And the reason is what I just read, that the just shall live by his faith. All right, the Lord, yeah, he'll let you know years in advance before, there's any proof or that you can see it. But the prophets, the elders, the apostles of Great Millstone, been preaching this 30 years ago, almost 40 years ago now, when a lot of this couldn't be seen. But you know what? You had to have faith to see it. It took faith. All right? And that's what the Lord wants to see. He wants to see who's the faithful. So, right. It ain't prophesying if you say it and then, as you saying it happens, or right after you say it, technically it is if it happened right after you say it, but that don't give much time to show who's faithful. So, right, after things, which we spoke on this, but after things start to be manifest, you can't hop on the bandwagon and say, yeah, I always knew this. Because you would not have demonstrated faith in that case. Mm-hmm. The Lord don't want you to be like Thomas. He wants you to be, one of those who believe and have not seen. But go ahead, brother.
God, that's the spirit, brother. Fear of the Lord, 144K just posted it. I get it, and what happened to this news. John 20 and 29. It says, and Yahushua said unto him, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet have believed.
Yet have believed, because the just shall live by his faith. All right. So yeah, brother, that means your day to day, that's how you're gonna live your day to day. And ultimately, that's how you're gonna receive that everlasting life and live, is by your faith. So yeah, man, let's rock and roll.
Let's get it. Okay, so what happened to this first article? And I know, shit, we all heard about it. That's why, hey, that's what I was saying earlier. We in a time so where news is speeding up. This happened a few days ago. Now it seemed like old news.
What the
This
Diddy
happened.
stuff?
What'd you say?
The Diddy stuff?
God, hey, that look. Hold on, I got you right here. Look, that too. He right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no
I
Diddy,
mean,
huh?
no, go ahead. I was just teasing.
God. But this happened 2 days ago with the Baltimore crash. But again, it felt like old news. Why? Because the times are flying by and news is rolling out, man. But again, with the Baltimore crash, as we all seen, now some would just expect, well, that was in Baltimore. That's just going to affect Maryland and the surrounding cities, right? But no, this is going to have a big impact. And that's what a lot of people look over. And that's the thing with Americans, man. Just because it's not happening on their street, in their neighborhood, the neighborhood app, Facebook market, and, just because stuff don't happen to them right then and there, they don't expect bad gonna come. No, man. These are the beginning of bad times. And just because it's one little bridge, it was seen, one little bridge, one little ship out of all the world, could it make a big impact? Yes. Let's get into this article. So it's from dailymail.com. And it says, now this was put out 2 days ago. It says Baltimore Bridges, 81 billion trade crisis. $81 billion trade crisis. It says ship crash sparks chaos for U.S. goods as collapse blocks the ninth largest hub for foreign goods that handles 52 million tons a year with 10 vessels stuck in harbor.
Right.
Come on, man. That's that title itself just said a whole lot. And we know, look, this Babylon the Great. How nations got rich because what? Trading with America. Foreign goods, as it says right here, the ninth largest for foreign goods in the world. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things are being brought in and taken out. Now take that off the picture. Now prices going to go up on certain products, Granted, you might not see it tomorrow in the stores, but these things will have effect on many things. So let's hop into it. It says Baltimore's collapsed bridge has brought the country's, so not the world, the country's, has brought the country's ninth biggest foreign trading port to a standstill with 10 ships trapped inside. And I mind you, Elder Tyler's Department, we've been touching on the Panama Canal. They still backed up with ships.
Mm-hmm.
Panama Canal, just because they ain't on the news, don't mean it's not happening. The Panama Canal is still backed up with ships. Oh, and we can't forget about what's going over there in the Red Sea.
Right.
They still not really want to send shipping, trailers through that because of what the Houthis got going. So a lot of this stuff, just because it's one little bridge in Baltimore, no, think about the bigger picture. How does it go affect a lot of things, man?
And Russia just sent vessels to the Red Sea, I think, to work something out with the Houthis. I had posted that earlier today on my channel. Yeah, it's going down. That was a strategic strike. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Like I told you on the, on the app, that's gonna be felt. here in America.
Even transportation for the citizens, that cut off a whole driving route, man. That put strain on certain people's lives. Now you got to take a detour around the city. Who knows what that's going to be like? But even that is a small example of not being free access to the cities. A lot of things will be cut off, whether you got a checkpoint with the military, which again, they using excuses to bring in the National Guard and military, like what last week we talked about in New York, because of the crime that's in the subways. They don't just need cops, they need the military. And now with the solar eclipse on the 8th, that's going to be here, April 8th, they bringing in the National Guard. All these things are not a coincidence, man. These are the gradualism of cities being shut down. But let's continue. So there's one port, as it would seem small in Baltimore, it says it imports 750,000 cars and light trucks. And it's the #1 hub for importing cars too, this very port. It says 1.3 million tons of farm and construction machinery. For 2 weeks straight, we've been talking about the farmers struggling and complaining. Now take Maryland and what they could bring in and ship out, take them out the picture. They're going to struggle more now. It says, and also 1.2 million tons of salt and sugar. And it exports 22 million tons of coal. That goes into natural gas. Well, the next thing it says, and 500,000 tons per month of liquid natural gas, and 444,000 cruise ship passengers departing. So this is going to affect a lot, whether it be slowly or whether it's going to be a quick turnaround. You see? And it kind of goes into like the stats, I guess, on how many cars come up in there a year. And I'm gonna throw all this in the chat too. It give, how the bridge collapse or whatnot. And the money it make a year. Now I'm gonna just jump to this article and we can move on. Now this from National News. This was put out yesterday. And it says Baltimore bridge collapse due to ship strike will have a sweeping economic repercussions. Now I want to go into that word repercussions or repercussions. It says an unintended consequence occurring sometime after an event or action, especially an unwelcome one. So the results of what the citizens go have to endure because of a certain event. So we'll see how this is going to play out with the Baltimore thing. But again, this is just Baltimore. We're talking about when the bridge was going to affect a lot, but this is the beginning of a lot. We're going to play this video at the end on Mike Adams, him speaking about more things, the Black Swan season, more things like this going to come. More 9/11 type events that's going to damage the infrastructure of America, man, to put a halt to people. I'm going to grab this real quick one, Zaquan, and you got it. This it says the bridge collapse will have major economic repercussions. Just real quick, it says the bridge's collapse is expected to cause major transportation disruptions for months or even years along the East Coast, according to Maryland officials, who note that it will affect not only ship traffic at the port, but also cargo and commuter traffic around the city. The port is considered a major route for both shipping containers and cruise liners and enjoys a favorable position closer to Midwest than other ports on the East Coast. So it have its significance, man. And now you can't go through it because a bridge there and shipping containers you might hit. It says, who note that, it says it is particularly popular for car shipments. And that's another thing too, because what Joe Biden and his or this government been trying to lessen these past years, gas powered cars. They've been trying to get everything going electric. But this port is one to bring in a lot of cars. It says, and it's the biggest American port by volume. Now check this out. And it's the biggest American port by volume for form and construction machinery, along with agricultural products. That's people food that's just about to affect. Food, people living, construction machinery, farm and agricultural products. This about to devastate a lot of people, whether it's gonna be slowly or quickly, man. While people are already struggling. But you got it, Zaquan.
Yeah, come, brother. This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 9. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. And this is talking about Esau, Edom. All right, as we'll get into as I read. All right, so hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. All right. And that's basically talking about the grave or either a low condition. It says, it stirred up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. And this is what we're seeing. We're seeing Putin rise up, you know, looking very, you know, he's exhibiting exemplary leadership skills, all right, which they just had an attack right after the Passover, matter of fact. All right, in some theater that was burnt to the ground. 100-something people got shot and killed. Yeah, Putin acted swift. They had them guys the same day. But, you know, you got Putin, you got all these leaders around the world, they stepping up because what's being created here in America with the decline of this place and ultimately with America being demolished altogether is creating a power vacuum that all these nations, they seeing it, and it's a rush, it's a fire sale. You know, everybody's jockeying for position. And that's why you got Russians over here, you got the Chinese over here, and the Chinese own a lot of key infrastructure and land here in America already. So, you know, that's what that is. But, you know, the chief ones of the earth, they're being stirred up. It said, right, it had raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. Verse 10, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right. All these other countries that once had the answer to America are no longer answering to America, but are dictating. All right. And this is what Trump was exposing. Nobody paid attention. Oh, he's racist. Yeah, and which one of them isn't? Name me one president that was not racist. But here's a racist president that's giving you some truth for a change. If you tuned in, all right, if you own that frequency or that vibration, then you hear it. But this is one of the things that he spoke on. Is how, you know, even in NATO with America's allies, they not paying their fair share. We pulling all the weight. It's time to make them pay their equal share. All these countries come over here dumping their goods, and we're not placing tariffs or duties upon those goods. It's time for us to get paid. We being played as suckers. And this is what Trump was telling, but nobody wanted to hear it. So now they're saying, art thou become like unto us? And here's the point, verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, right? The pride of this place, all right? Speaking about Esau, but it's also, you know, in conjunction with that, it's also speaking about America, all right? So it says thy pomp, because America is a proud nation. And the people echo the sentiment of the country. Oh, it's the greatest country on earth. Nobody could take this country down. Got the greatest military. Well, that's Babylon speaking through the pomp of his children. And that's why she said in verse 40, chapter 47, I shall not be a widow. All right, but back to the verse, Isaiah 14 and 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vowels. All right, because in Isaiah 24 speaks about that, basically how the music would be. Give me
I get
1
it for you.
second. I can't.
I get it for you.
Okay, that's in
I
24
got you right
and
here.
all right.
Start with the new wine mourner, the
Yep,
divine
yep,
language.
yep.
Come. This Isaiah 20. Sure, it's cool if I start at 5.
Man, get all that meat.
Come. Isaiah 24. I'm gonna start at 4. It says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the hardy people of the earth do languish. And the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because
Right.
they
And
have.
that's what we're seeing. We seeing this place being defiled by the inhabitants thereof, those who are in charge.
Mhm.
And then, just as the scripture teaches us, as with the king, so with the people. Or as the ruler of a people is, so are his officers and the people. So, right. But you got it out.
It says, because they have transgressed the laws and changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate, and therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. Verse 7.
And
It
that's
says,
coming. And
mhm,
that's what's coming. And that's why Isaiah 13, it says that the most high said he's going to make a man more precious than fine gold. Well, the brother just explained it in scripture that there will be few men left. And that's what makes something precious, is when it's few. All right. There's a song back in the day, they used to play the commercial. It said, precious and few are the moments, you know, that I share with you, something to that effect. But right, precious and few as a man is going to become, well, at least a Hebrew Israelite man. Most High getting ready to put in some work. Go ahead, brother.
it says, the new wine mourner, verse 7, the vine languisheth, and the merry hearted do sigh. The mirth
Mm-hmm.
of tabrets ceaseth,
That's
the
it. The
no-
mirth of the tabrets ceaseth. Go ahead.
the mirth of tabrets ceaseth, the noise of them that rejoiceth endeth, and the joy of the harp ceaseth.
Joy of the harp ceaseth. And when you go into the vowels, it's like a string instrument or a harp. So, right, there's going to be no more mirth and celebration in the land. All right. And it goes on to tell you that, strong drink even is going to be bitter unto them. All right. They should not drink wine with a song, because they're going to be in depression, heavy, high anxiety. Fear is going to grip a hold of this place, because what you're going to witness here short, what you're witnessing now. All right. But right, going back to Isaiah 14, and this is what it's saying: thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vowels. All right. Your string instruments. It says the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. And the worm deal with decay, rot, ruin, rust, just corrosion, corruption. And that's what we see all throughout America on every level: physically, mentally, spiritually. Everything here is corroding or corrupted, beside the men of the Lord that's teaching the truth. All right, 100%. The truth is the only thing pure here in this land, in this earth right now. In the Holy Spirit, which they go hand in hand. But outside of this truth, everything is corrupted. Everything. So, and this is what the scripture is saying that verse 12 explains, who this is talking about. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Right. And Lucifer is in reference, that means light bearer. Going back to the Greek, from lux, which is light, and fair is to carry or to bear, to bring, the light bringer or the light bearer. Lucifer, that's talking about Esau Edom, the elite. All right. They once went by in the ancient days as the perfectibilists, and then they became the Illuminati, which the Illuminati means the illuminated ones. All right. And so this is talking about the elite of Edom. All right. So they're being brought down as well as their empire or their kingdom. So yeah, brother, I just wanted to speak on that bridge. That's a sign of the worm. Well, I mean, it was a collision, but that bridge shouldn't have collapsed like that. That was a poor design.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, go ahead.
Since I was in Isaiah 24, I read 10. It says, "And the city of confusion is broken down."
Broken down.
Hey, look.
Because shall there be evil in the city, and the Lord had not done it. And you getting ready to see the evil. As the brother Karabah was eloquently bringing out, you may not feel it just yet, but you will feel it because it's going to have an impact. There will be repercussions. So yeah, you see that whole bridge. One pillar shouldn't have took the whole bridge down, but that's how it was designed. And come to find out, that vessel shouldn't have even been there, and the people wasn't even on post. It smells like a setup. It was a setup, and I always live by, qui bono, which is a Latin phrase meaning who benefits. And by that logic, I would have to say China. But that's, neither here nor there. But go ahead,
So we'll switch gears here, and I threw those last two articles that we just went into. I threw them in the chat already. But we'll move to the next segment, going into hey man, hey, this should be exciting because this is the main, not as far as the CBDC, because that's not the MOTB. We speaking in parables like Yahweh, man. But it's exciting to even hear this news that they putting a date on it. You see? Now again, that don't mean between 12 months, because they put a date on it now, and we're gonna read it. But the date that they planning on officially starting this digital system, not just in America, the world, Craig, the world. Not just in America, not just in England and Canada, no, the whole world. They plan on everybody being on the same page. Interoperability, the whole world within 12 to 24 months. That sound a lot like Revelation 13, he calls of all. Revelation 3, the whole world, the hour of temptation. Well, in 12 to 24 months, this very system will officially be launched. Now, why is also good? Because that's on Esau time. The Most High said he gonna speed up the time. Speed up the time. Mm-hmm. It might not even be 12 to 24 months. This is what Esau think. Because remember, we're gonna have to get that, man, Lord willing, that Job, when he is about to fill his belly, when he think he get into his time frame, the Most High gonna cut him off. He's saying 12 to 24 months. It's gonna be sooner. Come on, man. But now, again, 12 to 24 months, we ain't saying the chipping stations gonna be out there and it's gonna be the, the dystopian world. No, but it's gonna be set. Now, once it's set, and I mind you, this Esau timing, anything can happen between now and then. And we're gonna play some videos. We're gonna read this article first, but we're gonna play some videos which gonna back up this article. They saying 12 to 24 months. Now, Lena Petrova, she go into the launch date set, but all America need to do is get a executive order signed by the president. Now, what he go into is this been signed, and we touched on that here on a Thursday Live. This been signed by Biden in 2022 to bring forth a digital currency. So again, going back to this 12 to 24 months, they saying that, but what if an event happened? And that's what Mike gonna talk about a little bit here. If an event happened, ain't nobody gotta wait on nothing. Biden already got it signed, and all nations, because what he gonna say, America gonna be the last nation. And I didn't really get the time points, the time stamps in this, so Salaki, I got a few. But what he gonna say is all countries gonna get theirs set up first. America gonna be the last one. And at Elder Tazapa, I don't even know if you remember this, but we was at camp one time, and that's a spirit was in front of the IBC bank, a bank, right? But you was going into how, and I'm paraphrasing what you said, but how all nations go get their system, their digital system ready first, and the Lord go save the best for last. Because if he was to get America ready before the countries, the whole thing will fall. I don't know if you remember this, but you were saying the whole thing will fall. So yeah, everybody go fall in the plate.
Yep. No, I remember, Carl. I was just about to say that again, but I'm glad you brought that out. Right. America, it only makes sense that America would be last because it's the home of the world reserve currency. So if you start with America, then that don't leave time to get the rest of the country in place. You still need the dollar going while you get the other countries and nations subdued. And then you're going to hit America last just for the simple fact it's the home of the world reserve currency. You still need to do trade. Right.
That's it. Hey, so you see, hey, the prophets be saying it first. The prophets, with the Lord have, Yahweh Shema Shai have his, what he said in Amos, if anything be done, he revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets, man. Yeah, we go to these people to kind of get info to back up what we saying. But again, we turn it to the Lord's word. These things gonna happen, but he was saying the same thing. So the point is, it got a timeline on it. Now, when the system will be fully set. Hey, Bishop Nate, we gotta ask some camps these questions. Now, what they gotta say about these things, and look, the closer we get, it's gonna be set 12 to 24. But what if something happened? Let's get into this article though. And whatever you got out of the Tazapod, let me know. So this is from Reuters.com, and it's from the section of finance. And it's from March 26th, so 2 days ago. It says the title is Swift, which this is a certain platform, right? It's not no digital dollar, nothing like that. This is just a platform. Like we was mentioning that Fed Now platform, which again, we're gonna play Mike video because even the Fed, they gave out important list, 7 important topics on what they need to tackle before the CBDC. The CBDC, the last one. So in 12 to 24 months, these the key facts they need to take care of, and we're gonna show it here in a few. And what we've been talking about a year ago, Fed Now. Guess what's the first one on that list? Starting the Fed Now system first, man. Starting that first. Then it's gonna lead to the CBDC. Man, call all your how about Shema Shai for that, just to know these lessons, be on point with what's really going on, man. The water how about Shema Shai for that. Hey, and shout out to the elder Ariala and the elder, Require Kwame as well. They be going in, getting a lot of info from them men as well. You see, they do the algorithms. Go chime into those, man. But nevertheless, you got something?
You good.
Come on. Let's get into it. So it says Swift planning launch of new central bank digital currency platform in 12 to 24 months. And man, Elder Apostle Tahar always said this. Once that digital system be set, especially with the C-HIP, man, things gonna speed up. So if they saying 12 to 24 months, guess what? It could be quicker than that. So let's read it.
Yeah.
Man, it's exciting news, man. So the date set. It says London, March 25th, Reuters. This is what they said. The global bank messaging network SWIFT is planning a new platform in the next 1 to 2 years to connect the wave of central bank digital currencies now in development to the existing finance system, it has told Reuters. So they're going to just implement it. It's going to be a smooth shift. This new system is just going to go digital. It says the move, which would be one of the most significant yet for the nascent, which I believe that's new or something like that. Let's see. Just coming into existence. Yep, it says especially the process of an organization just coming into existence and beginning to display signs of future potential. And that's the CBDC. That's the system. It shows potential, man.
Like the Renaissance, the side.
Okay,
Con.
So it says the move, which would be one of the most significant yet, let me see how this word, make sure I'm saying it right too. Nascent.
Yeah, nascent.
So it says the move, which will be one of the most significant yet for the nascent, which is newly organized, right? They got potential. CBDC ecosystem, given SWIFT's key role in a global banking, is likely to be fine-tuned when the first major ones are launched. And Mike, he gonna go into the first major ones. And what's the first major ones? The beast system. He gonna make mention of England. You know, all those are the G7, G20, the beast system, whether NATO or the EU, they the major ones. Oh, of course, China as well, right? But England, China, and I forget who else he mentioned. And Lord willing, we get it because, like I said, I ain't got the specific timestamps, but I got some here and there. But again, so what it said again is likely the CBDC system is likely to be fine-tuned when the first major ones are launched. And it says around 90%, that's pretty much everybody. Around 90% of the world's central banks are now exploring digital versions of their currencies. Most don't want to be left behind by Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, but are grappling with technological complexities. And you know, that's prophecy, because a lot of nations are now intrigued with the new way or new world order, the digital world, and they trying to see, as you know, we kind of mentioned here and now, they trying to see who will be the new leaders of this new world. I'm gonna get this real quick. This 2 Ezra 9, I'm gonna get into GNT, because that's also a part of end time prophecy, that these governance, it will be international intrigues of different things. And we seeing what? In order to lead to the MOTB, these nations will be intrigued by, which we will go into that word, you know, by what? The digital system. Real quick, 2 Ezra 9 and verse 1 in the GNT. It says, he answered, consider all these things very carefully. Now, this is the Lord speaking to Esdras. It says, when you see that some of the signs I have told you about have appeared, you will know that the time has come when the Most High will bring judgment on the world he created. So he about to give Esdras a sign. So when you start seeing these things, Esdras, or to us, that's the very time the Most High about to bring judgment on the world. So this is some of the signs. There will be earthquakes, national rebellions, which we've been seeing these things, and international intrigues. Going to that word. Curiosity, interest, fascinate, right? Secret plans with the BRICS and separate from the dollar, and right? It speak about that no Obadiah, American allies doing secret plans behind doors. But that's part of end time prophecy. It says there will be earthquakes, national rebellions, and international intrigues. And we're going into this article in Swift. This is a system not just for America, NATO, EU, or American allies, but for China and Russia, everybody to be on one system. That's Revelation 13, man. I'm going to finish this and we can go back to the article. It says there will be earthquakes, national rebellions, international intrigues, unstable leaders, Biden, Kamala, unstable leaders, and confused rulers, Biden, Kamala. And when you see these things happen, you will know that they are what the Most High have spoken about since the beginning of creation. Are we not in these times, man? We seeing it. You know, and the world's moving towards what the Lord had prophesied with our forefather John seen on the Isle of Patmos. But before I continue, Elder Tazapah, you got something?
Oh, no, go ahead.
Okay, Khan. So going back to the article, it says around 90% of the world's central banks are now exploring digital versions of their currencies, international intrigues. And most don't want to be left behind by Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies, but are grappling with technological complexities. It says, I jump around so we can kind of move on too. I'm gonna throw all this in a chat because it goes about the the tokenized assets for commercial banks. Let's just read it. It says Swift's head of innovation, Nick Kerrigan, said its last trial, which took 6 months and involved 38 member groups of central banks and commercial banks. Commercial banks are the Wells Fargo's and the Chase Banks and settlement platforms, has been one of the largest global collaborations of CBDC and tokenized assets. I'm gonna jump down. Let's see. Now check this out. Just to see prophecy speaking, not just because what we read out the Bible, but everybody see it. It says we are looking at a roadmap to productize and launch as a product, not planning it. They launching it in the next 12 to 24 months. This is the thing. If they saying we starting it in 12 to 24 months, not just in America, England, and China, no, the whole world. If we starting it in 12 to 24 months, leading up to the 12 and 24 months, what type of world you think this about to change into? Come on, man. Yep. These governments gonna have to put their foot down. An example was what they did in the CV, locking down the world again, man, making people life hard. So if they're gonna start this, take away everybody's freedoms in the next 12 to 24 months, what you think leading up to that gonna be like? Life about to change. Life is about to change. It ain't just that it's went over or it's 12 months, then it's changed. No, it's gonna change leading up to that because they planning when they started, that's when it is. That's their NWO in their mind. They blatantly telling you, look, this one we plan to look, change the world. We here, man, in the next 12 to 24. Now, again, I'm gonna say this. We don't know the Lord plans, but hey, if Esau talking about this what we got going, the Lord talking about he gonna do it quicker. But you about to say something?
No, I was just agreeing.
I'll finish this up. It says we are looking at a roadmap to productize and launch as a product in the next 12 to 24 months. Kerrigan said in an interview. Now check this out. It's moving out of experimental stage towards something that is becoming a reality. The Lord ain't got his prophets just talking. These things are a reality. Let's move on. So it goes into, Bahamas, Nigeria, Jamaica, China, and the European Central Bank. They already got theirs underway. They already started, and 200 more countries are connected, and 11,500 banks are funded, man. So everybody getting down with it. Like this gotta be. It's prophecy. It gotta be. So let's see. It got a little more in here, which we'll move on. I'll put this in the chat, but I want to get this real quick. Gotta get this Revelation 13, and I just play the videos if you ain't got none, Zaquan.
All right.
This Revelation 13 and 15. This will be coming to. Everybody getting on board, man. Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Everybody will be forced to get down with this NWO, man. Governments and the citizens in it. Verse 16, and he causeth all, keyword, all. That's what the SWIFT system is for, to connect the whole world. Because look, every country gonna have their own CBDC, a central bank digital currency, like the Federal Reserve is America's central bank. You know, so every country got their own central bank. Now, the father, in other words, of central banks is the BIS, the Bank of International Settlements, and she gonna kind of speak on it. I'll play a clip from him. You know, I like to liken it to, you know, the scripture says, of Adam come we all, right? Well, of the BIS come every central bank. But everybody go get under this one network in 12 to 24 months, and they go launch it to where these things will be used. That's going to begin a system of what we reading right here in Revelation 13, leading up to that MOTB, which is the RFID micro C-Hip. So it says, Revelation 13 to 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. That's charagma. But buy or sell, this talking about a system being changed. Exactly. There's a specific thing you would need to buy and sell. It's going digital, man. You got it. You got it, Zaquan.
Hey, that's showing you it's going to be a new form of currency. All right, that he may buy or sell. It's talking about a form of currency, money, if you will, but it won't be a traditional sense of money. As the brother been going into, it's going to be a digital form of money, and the way you're going to keep track of it, you need a micro thing, one of them CHIPs, and they plan on putting it inside of you. All right, because you can't hold a digital currency. You can't put it in your pocket. You know, they got, well, you can buy a digital wallet, but you can't put it in your purse or in your pocket. So, yeah, with your digital wallet, it's going to go on your CHIP, your micro CHIP, or your bank account. All that is going digital. But yeah, brother, and yeah, but go ahead.
Yeah, that's a new one, that micro thing. It's a new one, right?
Come on.
Yeah, this Revelation 13 and 16. I'll finish this up and we can get straight to those videos because they had a good bit to say. So Revelation 13 and 16, and he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. And it ain't just your right hand. If you get it anywhere, you done. It says, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark. So the only ones to get by in a society, buy and sell, is if you get this thing in you, man, this device, if you conform over to the new digital system of doing things, man. It says, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So I'll go into playing this video. Now this from Lena Petrova. And we played her a couple of times. Now she touched on this 2 days ago when the news broke. Again, a launch date is revealed. That's her title. CBDC launch date revealed. Prepare. Let's see what she got to say.
Hello and welcome back. I have very interesting news for you today, and I wish that what I'm about to share with you was not true, but it is. All of us realized that this was just a matter of time, and the question was never if, it was when. The largest financial services transfer system, SWIFT, which by the way stands for Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, a Belgian company, just like Euroclear, if you want to go ahead and connect the dots. So SWIFT just announced its intention to launch new central bank digital currency platform in 12 to 24 months from now. So in a year to 2 years, all ducks will be in a row and every single thing will be ready for us to be under full and complete control of our governments. That's what this means.
I ain't got nothing to say. That's just a say lot moment right there. I ain't got nothing. I just want to pause. That's a say lot right there.
I will remind you that since I started researching CBDCs and actively posting videos on it, the timeline has shifted dramatically. Just a little over a year ago, think about it, just a little over a year ago, vague statements made by the Bank for International Settlements, as well as a group of political leaders worldwide, the majority of whom were from the United States.
Now remember, the Bank of International Settlements, that's the father of all these different countries' central banks. You see?
And Europe, of course, said, oh, you know what? We're not really sure if we even need digital currencies. We're still thinking about it. We're developing legal framework. We're discussing it. It may not even happen, so don't worry about it. Well, just last week, Fed Chair Jerome Powell echoed that. And he gave an extremely vague, I would even go as far as to say, quite embarrassing for a person of his position answer when asked about the Fed's progress on the digital dollar. You can watch the full video with Powell's response over on my Substack, by the way, but here is a short version.
Now, before Powell speak, which is the head of the Fed, a couple months ago, remember they were saying, nah, we ain't gonna do no CBDC for America. We ain't got that. That's not in our talks. That's not important. We ain't worried about that. But now it's different because a couple months later, now they ain't got no choice. When the Lord says something, he gonna do it. So let's listen to what he's saying now.
To a conclusion that we should propose, or anything like that, that Congress consider legislation to authorize a digital dollar. And it would take legislation by Congress signed by the president to give us the ability to do what we think of as a CBDC, which is really a retail CBDC with the public of it. So we're just a long, long way from that.
And here we are a week later, finding out that SWIFT is launching CBDC platform within the next 2 years. And
so like, I don't plan on stopping it, but it's a couple of things that need to be pointed out. One thing he said was that it's going to be a retail CBDC. Try to skip over, but retail CBDC is for the people. Wholesale is for financial institutions, credit unions, banks, but retail is for the people who need to use that. But let me play it back.
Or anything like that, that Congress consider legislation to authorize.
Now check this out. He's saying nothing like a CBDC can't happen unless it be signed by an executive order signed by the president. That's important. Remember that for the next video. He said nothing like a CBDC can't happen unless an executive order is signed by the president. Remember that for the next video.
Yeah. The president would have to do an executive order, but Congress, because they was given the power to coin money, they could also call it. But yeah, when you just want to get right to it, do an executive order. But yeah, go ahead, Doc.
Remember that. By the president, they have to be signed in order to bring in a CBDC.
When asked about the Fed's progress on the digital dollar, you can watch the full video with Powell's response over on my Substack, by the way, but here is a short version.
To a conclusion that we should propose, or anything like that, that Congress consider legislation to authorize a digital dollar. And it would take legislation by Congress signed by the president to give us the ability to do what we think of as a CBDC, which is really a retail CBDC with the public of it. So we're just a long, long way from that.
Broke it down. But to bypass all of that, you could go with an executive order. You know, instead of having it sit in the Senate or the Congress for months, maybe years, the president could fast track it with an executive order. So yeah, he just broke it down.
Come on. And remember that's important.
Later,
Yeah, look, the
finding out
president could fast track that.
Right.
Now remember that. That's so important. Only if he
Yep.
signs something, right? Only if Biden or whoever the president signs something is good.
that
Remember that.
SWIFT is launching CBDC platform within the next 2 years. And it might be safe to assume that if this announcement has already been made, the platform is ready to go. It's been tested and they're ready to roll it out. In fact, nobody is hiding this anymore. For example, a recent report reads, Global bank messaging network SWIFT is planning a new platform in the next 1 to 2 years.
Right. So we just read that article.
Yep.
A wave of CBDCs launched by major economies within the next year or two.
So what she said, because I skipped over it, is going to be a wave of new ones launched. And we know that. We showed the map last week. And even Mike, advertiser pod, he went into that same map that we showed last week on the progress of different countries and where they at on it.
Oh, okay.
Which would be one of the most significant yet for the CBDC ecosystem's doors. And of course, I would say that it has been that way by design. SWIFT said that its latest trial took 6 months and it involved 38 central different protocols.
So look, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play Mike real quick. Hey, advertiser pod, do you got anything before I play this one?
No, you good, brother. Go ahead.
Kind. So this from RTD TV. Now, I found him, by way of Elder Apostle Tahar. He been spoke on this guy a couple of years ago, maybe. And since then, kind of been watching him. He got some good info. Jake, he a believer. As far as the Christian church goes, he a believer. But who knows if a man, changes faith, once they see miracles. But nevertheless, he have a lot of good info. Just as these Edomites got info on the inside, well, he got good info too. And he just touched on this video yesterday. And it said the same thing. Swift CBDC service to connect global banking system. Not just America by itself or only connected to the NATO nations, and no, everybody gonna be on the same system. That's where we at now. That's prophecy. So I'm gonna let him say a few things because what he gonna go into, because remember what Lena said, all we need for that to happen. No, not she said, Jerome Powell said it, the head of the Fed. He said all we need in order for a CBDC to happen is that an executive order need to be passed and signed by the president. Let's go ahead and play a little bit of this.
Make sure you click that notification as well so you can stay plugged in. And also, I want to encourage everybody to connect with RTD beyond YouTube. Most important one. And on top of that, things I post beyond YouTube, just because YouTube is, I've been talking about that for a while now, so I'm not going to go down that road. But anyway, hope everyone is off to a good day. Midweek, hump day. Let's get it going, man. It's going to be an interesting day. And I want to dive right into it, man. And I have maybe 10, 12 tabs open. And I'm really going to highlight the rebranding of the monetary structure. CBDCs, the infrastructure has already been set up. Now it's a matter of needing that systemic event to really bring it about. And even though
if everything's said, we just need that systemic event to bring it about.
Jerome Powell a couple weeks ago gave a testimony saying that he can't do anything without congressional approval. But then again, when you look in the past, anything that come about as an emergency measure is usually brought about after some type of event where it's a no-brainer for Congress to rush something through out of sheer panic and just the idea that, they're very reactive, not proactive. So it's always after something unfolds, then the solution is given to us. And so I don't think this CBDC digital rebranding of our currency will be the same way. I don't expect it to be anything different. All it takes is an event to get people's attention, and voila. The signature that has already been signed will then authorize Congress, and they'll get the approval with no problem. So
now I need to stop at that because the point he's making is an amazing point. Even without a signature, when the event happened, as far as a natural disaster or a terrorist attack, whatever it may be, when those things happen, what he said is Congress just pushed things through, like the Patriot Act, back then with, 9/11 and, different things. They just push it through, which is Isaiah 10:1. Isaiah 10:1. Unrighteous decrees that he have prescribed, already had a plan. He just needed an excuse to make it an executive order. So what he's saying is, even without a signature, once an event happened, Congress will just pass that through. But how much more with a signature? And what he gonna go into? Because remember, Jerome Powell said, the head of the Fed, this can't pass the CBDC except the president signed the executive order. So with a signature, how much more faster will they push that through then? With an event.
We're going to touch on that.
Mike going into
And a couple other subjects. Let me keep things moving.
I think his name Mike. I don't know. I think his name Mike. I don't know.
Moving here, man. Never a dull moment in the world of a reset. Put it like that. Okay, so as always, man, going to get into some good news coming from the Word of God to pretty much anchor our.
All right, now Jay started bringing out scripture. So look, I'm gonna jump a little bit. I'm gonna go about to 17 minutes. And so what this is, and I'm gonna throw it in the chat for y'all so y'all can have it. And I think you'll probably like this too other types of podcasts. I know you be going into stuff like this. But he made this chart about the beginning of the American dollar all the way to now and all the different changes it made. You see? So I'm gonna get that, but I'm gonna go ahead and play it here.
Download this and get a peek at the cheat sheet so you'll be more in tune than the other 99.99%. The reason is I'm updating this because right over here, I got to put some recent executive orders. So it's in need of a rebranding, refreshing, but it lays out the bricks and everything in between way back in the day before anybody was talking about it. And so anyway, but where am I getting at? Let's go back in time real quick. Just 2 years ago, people underestimated and didn't really pay attention to the signature that took place in what I call the last stand of the current monetary structure. And the moment that signature was signed, I gave the permission for the powers that be to go out and begin research and development for something that's already prime and ready to go. They just lack one thing, a systemic event. And so Biden takes big step towards government-backed digital currency. It says the Biden administration is throwing its support behind further study and development of what will be known as a U.S. central bank digital currency. And so people might say,
so what he go into? I'm gonna play it back and I'm gonna just let him speak up for a few, But what he's saying is, and we touched on it here before, man. Call all you how about Shema was shy, but back in 2022, Biden he already signed his name and backed a digital currency for America. That's already signed. So what Jerome Powell said, the head of the Fed, that a CBDC can't come except an executive order be signed by the president.
Propose or anything like that, that Congress consider legislation to authorize a digital dollar. And it would take legislation by Congress signed by the president to give us the ability to do what we think of as a CBDC, which is really a retail CBDC with the public of it. So
he didn't want to say it with the public. Yeah, with the public. Yes. So now that he needed a signature, Biden been signed that in 2022. Let's read a little bit of it. We got it pulled up right here. So this is from www.presidency.ucsb.edu. So it's an official website, right? This is what it say. Joseph Robinette Biden, 46th president of the United States. It says Executive Order 14067. Executive Order 14067, ensuring responsible development of what? Of digital assets. Come on, man. This was already signed. And it's so exciting, man. It's beautiful because, man, a lot of these things brothers who, or sisters who've been tuning in, we talked about a lot of these things, and now they're actually being said, look, this is what we're doing. Just to, man, the Wadi how about Shemal Shah again, just to let us know this, come on, man. Man, it says ensuring responsible development of digital assets. Ben signed. Let's read a little bit. March 9th, 2022. We in 2024. And what Jerome Powell said a week ago, we just need a signature. They got it. They just need the event. That's the season we in. The event. That's what we're going to play next if we got time. Black Swan season. The season of events, man. Let's read a little bit of this real quick. We'll wind it up. But it says, getting a little excited, Salaki, by the authority vested in me as president, by the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. Section 1. Policy. This is what he signed. Advances, and this is what? Executive Order 14067. Advances in digital and distributed ledger technology for financial services have led to dramatic growth in markets for digital assets with profound implications for the protection of consumers, investors, and businesses, including data privacy and security, financial stability, and systemic risk, crime, and national security. The ability to exercise human rights, financial inclusion, and equity, and energy demand going green, right? And climate change. So that's why they say they doing it. But remember, you make it sound good, but it ain't good. Sound like you're here to help, Sirach 12 and Sirach 13, but he gonna catch you slipping. It sound good. But it says in November 2021, 9 stated issued digital assets reached a combined market capitalization of $3 trillion, up from approximately 14 billion in early November 2016. And monetary authorities globally are also exploring and in some cases introducing central bank digital currencies. And we'll stop there. So what is going into it? Let's read it. While many activities involving digital assets are within the scope of existing domestic laws and regulations, and an area where the United States have been a global leader, and it goes on. We'll put it in the chat, but it goes on. The point is, he signed the order for digital assets, and his point is because the whole world doing it. Because the whole world doing it. 2nd Ezra 9, we read that earlier. International intrigues, the whole world doing it. We're gonna do it too.
Yeah, and
so this
Revelation 13, he calls it all. So yeah, the system is in place. I just got to get it to, as you're going into whatever event they're going to use to get it in place to make it, get it going. That's the only thing, that's the last hammer to drop.
And I'll play a little bit of this mic video, then we'll move on. We've been going for a little minute, and we'll play this last video, and that's pretty much it. But things are moving in this direction, man. Just as prophecy say, the Lord ain't gonna be slack concerning his promise. These things are here.
Yep.
These things are here. I got a quick precept. We'll bring some precepts out. This Judah chapter 9, real quick, concerning prophecy being here. They ready. It's ready. This Judah chapter 9 and verse 5. And it's her speaking to the Most High. It says, for thou hast wrought not only those things, but also the things which fell out before, and which ensued after. And thou hast thought upon the things which are now and which are to come. So in other words, she's saying Isaiah 46, 9 and 10. The Lord created the beginning from there, and he know everything that's going on. It says, and yeah, what things, right? Because she ended it off on, and which are to come. And when the times that they come, and it says, yeah, what things thou didst determine were ready at hand. Everything is ready. The things that are to come, we living in that time. They're ready at hand. And it says, and said, lo, we are here. So even prophecy is so saying we here. And how is saying we here? By the MOTB being put in people's heads on mainstream news. Good Morning America, the first segment is Elon Musk Neuralink going to somebody's head. That's how it's saying we here. He's showing clips of buying and selling with the palm, with the C hip inside. That's how it's saying we here. Nations going digital. Every nation going digital. That's how it's saying we here, man. Missiles in the silos. That's how it's saying we here. It says, for all thy ways are prepared, and thy judgments are in thy foreknowledge. So again, man, the Lord ain't got the apostles, bishops and elders and brothers just speaking. These things are actually playing out. But I'll play a little bit more.
I got to quote Apostle Tahar too from
approval.
Hey, real
The
quick.
executive order he signed gave the banking structure the.
So like you got it.
No, Apostle Tahar just said, if you don't see right now that the mark is the C hip, then you just either stupid or wicked, and it's true at this point, because I mean, it's overwhelming evidence. They're going to a digital currency. So how you gonna buy or sell? Yeah, but just go ahead, Doc. Go ahead.
The permission to go ahead and begin development. It won't become legal tender until after congressional approval and all other things that's needed. But as I mentioned before, every single shift in our country has come from a piece of legislation that was put forth first, and then out of sheer emergency and panic, it got passed with no problem. The best one is the Federal Reserve Act that took place in 1913. It was the second attempt at reinstating the third central bank. At first, it was the Aldrich bill, which came about in 1911 after the panic of 1909 and 1910. So the banks caused a panic 3 years before the signature was signed for the third central bank, which is the Federal Reserve Bank, to be created. So it was a creation of the plan, the event that caused a crash, and then the bill that was already there was signed 2 or 3 years later. That's how it goes.
Man, that's real quick.
Most modern time, I'm ranting a little bit.
I see the brother Yakana had posted it. I gotta get it because what he just said. Let's play it again. The brother Yakana just posted it. Oh, he been posted it, but I'm just seeing it. Check this out. They've been had everything in place
for the third central bank, which is the Federal Reserve Bank, to be created. So it was a creation of the plan.
Creation of the plan.
The event that caused a crash.
The event that caused the crash.
And then the bill that was already there was signed 2 or 3 years later. That's how.
And then they just signed it off because they had it planned already. And their brother, you kind of posted it real quick. This Isaiah, I thought he posted it. Oh, I thought he posted Isaiah 10. Well, I thought he posted it. Well, I get it then. This Isaiah 10 and 1.
You right.
It's Isaiah 10 and 1. What'd you say?
I was gonna read it. Go ahead though.
No, you got it. Yeah, you can speak on it too. You got it.
At the top. Right, Isaiah chapter 10, verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. And right, a righteous woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, mean unrighteous laws, statutes, dictates, commands. All right. Now the brother just read from earlier from Revelation 13. Now, if you start up around verse 11, it speaks about the beast coming up out of the earth, which had 2 horns like a lamb, but he spake as a dragon. And when it's speaking about the beast speaking as a dragon, it's talking about draconian laws, which is the harshest penalties and punishments for the least of crimes. So that would be an unrighteous decree. Well, this is the time that we come into where you're going to see the beast speaking in draconian fashions or in draconian fashion, all right, unjust laws or unrighteous decrees. So the scripture is saying, woe unto them, is condemning them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that write grievousness, which they have prescribed. And this is why the brother wanted to go into this, because to prescribe means to forewrite. All right. We forespeak. We are the prophets. We forespeak. They forewrite. All right. Now, Esau's motto is the pen is mightier than the sword. So he uses that pen. All right. And it says in verse 2 to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. All right. And so the needy are the Hebrew Israelites. That's us, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans predominantly. But we're scattered all throughout the earth, looking like all kind of people. All right. But right, we are the needy right now because we're at the bottom. We're the ones that's under this man, Esau, the rulers, the powers that be. And we serve him for the want of all things. And the thing that we want or need the most that we can't get is justice. All right. So this is what it's saying, to turn aside the needy from judgment, or what? Justice. To take away the right from the poor of my people. Right. The right to have cash, silver and gold, real money. That's what the Lord put here, and really, it's up to the people, but your money should be backed by silver and gold or something tangible, land, cattle, livestock. You understand? So, right, it's just all messed up right now. It says, and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. All right. And Job said in Job 19:7, behold, I cry out of wrong, but I am not heard. I cry aloud, but there is no judgment. You see, it says to turn aside the needy from judgment. There is no judgment for us. This is why those that are wise are abiding under the shadow of the Almighty. All right, because he's going to shelter us from this shitstorm that's getting ready to hit. So, yeah, that was the point right there. Yeah, that's an unrighteous decree.
And real quick, I wanted to highlight this because I know we were just speaking about, or we're still speaking about, central bank digital currencies, which again is not the MOTB. This is just them beginning the system of saying, look, it ain't the dollars or coins no more, it's digital. They're going to bring that in their place. Then it might be credit cards, debit cards, apps, whatever, leading to the microchip, right? But again, the one that all these central banks are got to go to is the Bank of International Settlements. Now, I wanted to show this because you see this little quick thing right here. Some news that says what to know about the Bank of International Settlements. And what I found interesting, it looked like the Tower of Babel, as they say a little bit,
Yeah.
The Tower of Babel a little bit, how they say it was built. Like all nations flags. You see? But hey, one world government, he calls of all. It says, so the BIS, if y'all hear this is why I want to bring it out. The BIS, or the Bank of International Settlements, this specific bank, it says, is a bank for central banks. So that's why it says it's the father of the central banks. It's the oldest global financial institution, operates under the guidance of international law, the principal architect in the development of the global financial market. And they the ones who you're going to hear them, they names mentioned often from here on out, not whether on this lesson or other lessons, on TV, whatever, they name mentioned often because they got their hand in everything. They calling the shots, and they want to do what? Bring about a CBDC, and it's over there in Switzerland. See, but I just want to kind of bring that out. I'll play a little bit of this. You know what? I'm gonna throw this in the chat. I think I did already. I'm gonna throw it again, and I'll just play a little bit of that. You know what? I'm gonna still play a little bit.
That's how it goes. And most modern time, I'm ranting a little bit, but just kind of let you know how things tend to play out. The most modern event that came after a systemic event was the signing of the mRNA technology by Donald Trump in 2019. I think it was September, by Dr. Fauci. They've had him sign for the development of mRNA. 6 months later, illness hit the country. They already had everything signed out for the pharmacies that already had everything ready to be rolled out. And then what came after that was the mandates and the lockdowns and everything else, basically saying people had to take this or lose their jobs. So week or so. So here we
Right. So I'm gonna play this so we can kind of end it here at the Taza Pop. But what he was saying is they did the same thing with the CV. They planned it all, had everything.
No, I was just saying that's a good point right there. You got it.
What it was saying was, they kind of planned it all, had everything in the play, but once it happened, things was just signed and just pushed through. There wasn't no waiting period because it was already they plan to do this anyway. Now I want to play this real quick because this is important, and I thought I had the link to this. I'm gonna get this article for y'all because I want to put it because it's good. But it says the Federal Reserve declares CBDC. And this was put out March 18th, declares CBDC a key duty to Congress. So this just ain't something they trying to know. It's a key duty. They need to do this. The Federal Reserve, which is America's central bank, declares CBDC a key duty to Congress. So the government saying we need to pass this, despite public statements attempting to downplay its focus. Let's play it a little bit.
Here we have, from March 18th, Federal Reserve declares CBDC is, quote, a key duty to Congress, despite public statements attempting to downplay its focus. So this goes back to the initial discussion I mentioned where I played a clip. I'll play the clip. Let me see if I still have it. I played this clip. Let me see if I still have it. Give me 1 second here. No. Let me see if I still have it in my archives.
He was taking too long, so I'm gonna beat him to the punch. So what he gonna go into is that how you had this guy Tom Emmer, right? Tom Emmer. Now he a mayor. He a mayor, and it says on Wednesday. Now this is from Decrypt News. And this is what he was reading off of. Now check this out. This is where they getting the information from that the CBDC is a high priority within the American government. So it says the Federal Reserve may be dead set on implementing, and this just came out March 14th, right? About 2 weeks ago. Is dead set on implementing a central bank digital currency, or at least continuing to study them despite the public claims contrary to it. So it says on Wednesday, GOP majority whip Tom Emmer publicly shared a file that he says he received from central bank staff earlier that day during a presentation to Congress. So you had a central bank staff come up on there and talk to them, to Tom Emmer and the other ones. You see? And this is what they presented to them. The key things we need to get past and focus on as a nation. It says the document, which appears to set out the key duties of the Fed, like issuing currency and operating as the government's fiscal agent, including central bank digital currency on a list. Now, this is the list. Tom took a picture of it for. The Lord had Tom Emmer take a picture of it so we can see this, man. So this is what Tom Emmer tweeted. It says, if you don't think the Fed is pursuing a CBDC, think again. The Fed gave this to my staff, and when Tom posted this, March 13, 2024, 7:48 p.m. on his X account. It says, he said, if you don't think the Fed is pursuing a CBDC, think again. The Fed gave this to my staff during a presentation earlier this Congress. They view a CBDC as one of their key duties. Let's look at the duties. And look, they had the pamphlet. Let's look at the key duties. It says key duties of the Fed, which is America's central bank. The payment systems. First one, select. First one, it says currency, right? Then check collection, automated clearinghouse. You got that. Then the next section is wholesale payments. Now, wholesale again is between government and banks and credit unions, financial institutions, so on and so forth. That's wholesale payments. Retail got to do with the citizens. But it says next thing they want to tackle in this order, wholesale payments, and that's Fed wire fund service. That's that Fed now kicking in. Fed wire security services. They're gonna get the government and banks all set on the same page. We're going to digitalize Fed wire, Fed funds, digital. So now that the banks, credit unions, and the stores, wholesale, everybody good. Now the citizens won't have a choice because what bank you gonna go to that don't do it? What store you gonna go to that don't do it? So they got to start with wholesale first. Then after wholesale, it says fiscal agent of the U.S. government, and then what? Then Fed now. We talk Fed now. They might give you a debit card, and I might look. This key duties from the Fed themselves, given to Tom Emmer and his crew. Then a Fed now, it might be on an app, debit card. It already got a Wells Fargo and certain other banks, might give you $500. If you sign up for this program, the Fed Now program, you get $500 every month. Who knows? But then what's next after that? CBDC. These are key duties that the Fed got planned. And I mind you, what's the timeline? 12 to 24 months. So if they got to do all these things between now and 12 months or 24 months, what you think the world about to be like is about to change. Esau about to come, real quick, if I may, we go wind it down. This Revelation 12. So like I've been kind of, long-winded. Revelation 12 and 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he got but a short time. These things are about to kick in. And again, we mentioned that Job earlier, if Esau about to move quickly because he know he got a short time, the Lord said while he about to fill his belly, thinking he gonna get these things started, thinking he gonna get these things off the ground. Hey, I read it for you at the Taza Pop. If you want to kind of speak on it, we can end it on that if that's cool with you.
I already got it.
Okay, well, you got it. You got it.
You want Job?
Yeah, we know that Job, when it says when he's about to fill his belly, then that's when the Lord gonna move.
I already got it.
Come on, you got it. You can speak on it, Baba Kashab.
I'm gonna bring out Job chapter 20, verse 20. It says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not savor that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. All right, so him not feeling quietness in his belly, meaning I have to go up to verse 15. Job chapter 20, verse 15. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. So when you read in verse 20, it says, surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. And when you get the bubblies in your gut, your digestion ain't, the food you ain't sitting right, and your stomach is rumbling and bumbling. Well, spiritually, this is what the Most High, he's using a metaphor that Esau has swallowed down all these riches, and it ain't sitting in his system good. All right. The whole world is in the uproar. The people rioting all around the world, people upset. They thought they could keep a lid on all of this and keep it under wraps till they got time to just, as the brother Karabah been going into, the young priest, they just wanted to just kind of like hit us with it, catch us off guard. But the prophets are out here, and then among these whistleblowers and all of these other things was that Psalm 64 and 8. All right, that Their own tongue shall fall upon themselves. So you got all of this going down, and it's causing unease in his belly. All right. And Daniel chapter 2, it speaks about the feet and the toes. They were part iron and part miry clay. As it said that the people would not, that the people wasn't going to jail with what Esau got going on in so many words. But right. So he swallowed down all of these riches. The Most High said he's going to vomit them up again. So there is no quietness in his belly. So it says, going back to verse 20, Job chapter 20, verse 20. Do you want to bring that out real quick, guy?
Was that Psalm 64?
That's what if you want to bring it out.
You mentioned I bring it out Psalm 64 and 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves, and all that see them shall flee away.
All that see them shall flee away. So people are not vibing with this. The people that's in the know, they're not vibing with this. They fleeing away. Now this is back in Job chapter 20, verse 20. Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired. There shall none of his meat be left. Therefore shall no man look for his goods. Right. And his meat or his works is working. There shall none of his works be left. Because I get that from Yahweh Shah when he said, I have meat that you know not of. And he said, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me. So Esau's meat is the workings of Satan. Yahweh Shah's meat was the work of the Heavenly Father on the right-hand side. So it's none of his meat is going to be left. And verse 22 says, in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits, right? So the fullness of his sufficiency, meaning he got more than heart could wish and desire. He's in the fullness of his sufficiency. He has more than enough. To be sufficient, sufficient means enough. So when you're in the fullness of your sufficiency, you got more than enough. But it says, he shall be in straits. All right. And this is why Esau is losing sleep at night. All right. Because he's in straits, a position of difficulty. All right. And that's why you mentioned April 8th. And I got to mention this. All right. Right. Well, April 8th is that eclipse, that solar eclipse. And what they've dubbed the devil comet passing by Earth the same day. Well, they're gonna be firing up CERN. Mm-hmm. All right, at a power level that they've never powered it up before. So they going full tilt on CERN on April the 8th. Why? Because they're in straits. They're looking for answers, a way out. They're trying to contact these entities in these other dimensions and in these other worlds, trying to trying to get help. All right, but in the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. All right, and that's when the Most High cut us loose, because that word wicked is coming from the Hebrew word. It was translated from the Hebrew word imal, which means the sufferers or the laborers. So those that suffered at the hands of this devil, but we're gonna do something wicked to his ass. All right, and that's what it's saying. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. Why? We ain't gonna tickle this devil. We ain't gonna give him hugs. No, we're gonna do evil to his ass. All right, so every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. In verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, the Most High shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right, so you can knock that one out.
That's it. No, when Esau think he gonna hit them 12 to 24 months, I'm playing, but when he think he about to fulfill his new world order, the Lord gonna come, come crashing down on him before that, man. The Lord, look, Esau know he got a short time, but the Lord gonna shorten it before Esau expect. That's the point. And he think he gonna get this system. Now, granted, look, say if 12 months come, 13, 14, 15, we had 17, 18 months. It may happen. Even if we reach 25, it may happen. The point is the Lord gonna step in eventually, man. But the main point is he gave a timeline, and that's when he want to officially start everybody in order in 12 to 24 months. What you think the world gonna be like leading up to that point? We're about to see a lot of chaos. That's the point.
Yes, sir.
They're gonna force people to get down, man. What you think is about to be like? Look, hey, we got April coming. When a Civil War movie coming out? Civil War movie. Let's see. It's coming out. When it's coming out, April 11th. April 11th, Civil War. American Civil War is coming out. This what it's gonna be like leading up to that time. Purge election year. We're in election year.
Yep. April 11th, eight days from that, April 19th, that's their high unholy day of Beltane or Walpurgis, leading up to May 1st, which is May Day, Maypole and all of that shit. They do major rituals. So we know, again, I mentioned at the beginning of this session that you got to know Esau's MO. And his MO is for them to work their magic, for lack of a better term, they have to let you know what it is. They have to reveal their intent before they go in to actually do it. So with this movie coming out at this key time, they could be very well working an angle to kick some shit off. Cause we see that been ramping up. We've seen that been ramping up for the last year. So these things is no coincidence. Everything is orchestrated and dictated by the Most High. And ain't nothing happening outside of his will. So yeah, go ahead, Doc.
And then we can't forget this April 11th that is gonna drop and come out in theaters. Hey, near us. But this right after what? 3 days after the solar eclipse.
April the 8th. Exactly.
So look, the Lord might send the spirit down, open a portal, and send a different spirit in the world in that time,
exactly.
man. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Living in those times, you got as a Zaquan, you got it.
No, I'm agreeing. You go ahead, brother.
It's like kind of, but hey, Sirach 36 that come to mind. The Lord gonna do new signs and show other strange wonders. This is a different time than ever before. The Lord, Yahweh wouldn't just say that just because, who else said it? Jeremiah wouldn't just say that because, Daniel just saying it just because, man. We really about to see a time like never before. Now, that's pretty much it on that. I wanted to play this, which I ain't gonna speak much. I'm gonna play like 2 minutes of it. 2 minutes quick, but what he gonna go into, I'm gonna put this in the chat and we can kind of end it there. But what he gonna go into, and it's a good watch. Seeing this thing happen with the ship in Baltimore, which this is what we touched on first. The ship happened with Baltimore. He was like, seeing that happen, get ready for Black Swan season. Now, Black Swan is an event that could change the world when people least expect it. Roughly paraphrasing that definition. But he's saying, get ready for Black Swan season because now that's about to be a norm. Bridges collapsing. Grounds opening up. Earthquakes, so on and so forth. Lights going out, the plants failing, infrastructure failing. He said, get ready for these times. It makes so much sense according to what? According to prophecy, man.
Cyber attacks. They telling people to store up 2 weeks worth of food for April 8th and all of this. Yeah. Solar flares, EMP attack. Oh, yes. Right. It's open season right now. But yeah, man, play old Mike.
I'm gonna play a little bit of it. We can end it down.
Isn't it interesting, almost karmic, that the U.S. empire through Kiev and Ukraine has been trying to destroy the Crimean bridge that is part of Russia, the bridge that connects Crimea with the Russian mainland. And the U.S. has been part of the weapon systems, the underwater drones that have attacked ships there and attacked the bridge. And there was a bombing on that bridge, I don't know, a year and a half ago. And so many efforts try to destroy the Crimean bridge, and it hasn't been destroyed. And then in the U.S., in Baltimore, boom, one cargo boat, pushes on the pillar supporting the bridge, and the whole bridge comes tumbling down. There's something kind of energetically karmic about that, which is, hey, stop trying to blow up people's bridges. Stop the war, stop all the killing, stop all the aggression and the provocation. Our government.
And it's slow. I got to spare it up a little bit for time's sake.
Have the world at war, not the people. You and I as people, we could get along just fine, by the way, with almost anybody, whether they're Americans, Black Americans, white Americans, Asian Americans, Latino Americans, or you could get along fine with the people of Russia or the people of Afghanistan or the people of India or the people of Iran or the people of China, because the people are basically the same everywhere. It's these evil governments that are causing all this. And as a result, and this is really the topic here, we are now headed into a very dangerous era of sabotage operations targeting U.S. infrastructure. Now, it's too early to know yet whether this bridge incident in Baltimore was an act of deliberate sabotage or an extremely unlikely series of coincidences resulting in an accident, but it's the kind of thing that we're going to see as the sabotage operations kick off across America. Now, you may recall that Steve Quayle and I did an interview back in 2022. It was called Battlefield America, 2022 through 2024. And it laid out a series of predictions that are all now coming true. One of those predictions is that there would be sabotage operations targeting U.S. infrastructure. And this sabotage would be carried out by the enemies of America. And of course, in the years since, America has made a lot of enemies. It's not just the war with Russia, but also what's happening in the Middle East. America being allies with Israel as Israel continues to get infrastructure. That window is now wide open because we are approaching the November, providing context for what I'm about to say. You can expect that the window of sabotage against the U.S. economy, against U.S. infrastructure, that window is now wide open because we are approaching the November election. And we know that the party in power right now, the Democrat Party, is illegitimate. They did not win the 2020 election. They stole it. They are
Elder Tasapa, this is what you were saying before we started the lesson. I forget, you said there was a guy said, blue states on each coast. This is what he about to mention right here.
treasonous actors. They are a cabal of criminals. And they're going to try to steal the election again, but this time they probably figure they can't out-cheat the landslide victory that Trump is positioned to receive. So they need a bigger emergency. They need a way to sabotage so much infrastructure that the election cannot take place, or to thrust the United States of America into such a deep state of emergency that the election cannot take place. Thus, not only do we have enemies of America from, let's say, the Middle East, or Russia, or CCP, whatever, enemies of America are trying to bring America down. So is our own illegitimate government. So we, the people, we are being pounded on every day by multiple parties that want to bring this nation down. And that, again, that window of opportunity for that, from these nefarious forces that want to really harm America, that window is wide open. They are in full force right now. And even if this attack in Baltimore, or the bridge incident, wasn't an act of terrorism, it is very much like the kinds of sabotage acts that you are going to see. So black swans are going to start occurring on a more regular basis. This means that, number one, we should consider ourselves quite fortunate if we make it even to election day. However, there's a scenario there where if the Democrats are in charge of the House, where they reject the Electoral College vote and they refuse to recognize the outcome of the election if Trump wins, and that would probably set off a massive, civil war, revolt, uprising of some kind.
Even Trump said that himself. Look, I will end it right there because, he'll get into it, but look, I'm going to post this in the chat. But what he's saying is what we've seen with that bridge collapse is the first of many tragic things that's about to occur. And what he's saying, the Democrats don't want Trump back in office. It's going to be a landslide victory, which Trump said this a week or so ago. If he don't win, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, it sure did.
So, and look, they already, because of, the J6, event. They put that all of that on Trump just because he gave a speech before. How much more he coming out saying, well, if I don't win, it's gonna be a bloodbath. So again, 12 to 24 months, what's gonna happen between that 12 to 24 months? Expect a lot of things. So look, we might make it to the election or might not, or even after it might get worse. But I want to get a quick precept, and that's pretty much all I got, Elder Tazapah. It's 2nd Ezra chapter 14. I'm gonna get straight to the point. In verse 15 in the GNT, it says, "Put all your anxieties aside and get ready to leave this world quickly. You have seen many evil things already, but far worse things are about to happen." Selah. Far worse things are about to happen. That's what he's gonna go into. That's a good vid. Far worse things are about to happen. Just that's light work, that little bridge. Remember, Bill Gates was laughing when he said the CV, that's little. Well, the next one gonna be right. Far worse things are about to happen. It says, as the world grows older and weaker, the evils that will come upon this people will multiply, and we definitely in that time. You got us, Aquan.
Yeah, we can't forget. Now they reported the bridge collapse took place around 1 a.m. What was that? Tuesday morning? Yeah, I believe Tuesday morning. Yeah, Monday morning. But it was 1 a.m. Later that morning, Biden come out and said, "Oh, it was ISIS." How you know already that's ISIS?
Right.
So that's what made me think that's probably China, because Biden is nothing more than a puppet for the CCP. Yeah. So he wanted to quickly divert your attention from anybody else and say, "Oh yeah, that was ISIS." And the same thing with the situation in Russia. ISIS claimed responsibility for the attack. So yeah, that Mike is dead on. You're gonna see more of this, But yeah, I'm leaning toward China being behind this, and you definitely gonna see some more. And he made a real good point about the election. They got to cancel it. They ain't got nobody who they can put in that's gonna counter Trump.
Mm-hmm.
So they gonna have to do something. So yeah, bro. Yeah, how you know? Because Redacted did a piece about that, and he said, "Oh, because Joe Biden said, yeah, we gonna unleash the full. We gonna fully fund it to get the bridge back in place and all this. Basically we gonna fully fund it." That's what he said. We're gonna fully fund, the repair and the rebuild of this. And old boy on Redacted said, "Well, shit. Well, what about Palestine, Ohio? Them people still suffering. They just left them people on their own. Joe Biden didn't even go out there till a year later. And when Buttigieg, or with Pete Buttigieg went up there, he wasn't even talking to the people. When the shit went down in Palestine, the same thing in Lahaina with them fires. Them people left to fend for themselves. So why is it now all of a sudden, just the same day, immediately, they know who did it, and we're gonna fully fund this? There's something rotten in Denmark. But it's gonna come out in the wash. All you gotta do is keep paying attention. You know? But yeah, I just wanted to say that, brother. That was it, man.
Con, that's it.
Yeah, shit, you can close it out, brother.
Hey, well, with that, hey, Lord willing, this lesson been edifying. But yeah, definitely check out those articles, especially dealing with the Swift the CBDC, because there's a lot we didn't read. There's a lot of good stuff still in there, and in those videos, there's still a lot of meat.
Bro, I'm glad you brought that up. If the viewers right now, if y'all actually go back and y'all are reading these articles and watching the videos, just let us know. Put a con in the comment board, because this brother he putting in labor to give y'all this info. You understand? So take full advantage of it, man. It was a lot, because I'm gonna have to go back and read a lot of that stuff. So take advantage of these resources. They about to be cut off. That's another thing that's coming. A complete loss of communication, the famine of the word. That's also coming. We spoke on black swans. So get it while the getting is good. With this with Isaiah 55 and 6 or 11. I'm gonna close out on that. Right, this is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 6. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. All right. And so, that was it, You saying something, Mike? I can't hear you. I don't have no sound. I ain't got nothing. But anyway, hey, the work is done.